Really ready to put a lot of time, effort, thought, meditation into it this evening to prepare for you. But I am a speaker. Are you a speaker? Raise your hand if you're a speaker.
Woo!
I'm a speaker.
We're going to talk about engaging the stage. Engage the stage. So I'm going to give you a lot of things to write down. Write this down. It's all energy. And repeat after me. It's all energy.
It's all
Energy.
Wow, you guys are amazing, ladies and gentlemen, not guys. It's all energy. Number 2, we're all connected.
We're all
We're all
Thank
connected.
you. And number 3, it all comes back to you.
It
All comes back to you.
I want to give thanks and just express my gratitude to Ginny and Kimberly for creating this event, for just your heart, for believing in me, for giving me this opportunity, and for setting the stage and setting the tone for everybody here for an amazing event. Can we give them a great round of applause? And for their exec team, and for Bridget, and I don't know this young lady's name.
I'm not even Amanda. I'm Amanda.
Hi, Amanda.
I'm working on Friday.
And the man behind the camera. Set the tone. Read your audience. This is a show. I'm really going to put the microphone down because that's what I would like to do. I wrote a book called The Customer Experience. And I've been a 5-star customer experience expert for about 7 years. That's my main passion, my main vision, my main heart, that's my main job. And I realized I've been engaged with events for many, many years as a MC, as a host, as a attendee, and I created this event called the Ultimate Speaker Competition. But for the first 2 years that we did it, I never put myself out there as a speaker coach. I said, no, I'm not that. I am the producer. I'm the host, right? Has anybody in this room ever had self-doubt?
Yeah.
You have. Has anybody ever been ridiculed, put down, made fun of?
Yes.
A year ago, I decided, you know what? There are many speaker coaches out there, and just like Ginny said, or Kimberly said earlier, you know, for a second grader, a fourth grader knows so much, right? So I'm a fourth grader, and I can help kindergartners and second graders. And here's what I realized is that my customer service training, all of my content, all of my information actually directly relates to public speaking. I gave you the first 3 points. Set the tone. I'm sorry.
Energy.
It's all energy. We're all connected, and it all comes back to you. Who would like a copy of my book? I have one copy right here. Carrie. All right. So, when you are speaking, you are always taking your audience on an emotional journey. You have to set the tone, which we already talked about. So the thing is, what do you want them to feel? What do you want it's not just about knowledge and information, right? It's about how do you want your audience to feel? What do you want them to take away from your content, from your talk? And we have to be able to speak to them, to our audience, in a way that we connect with them on an emotional level. Does this make sense to everybody? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Because otherwise, what we are doing is we're just speaking to them intellectually, right? But people don't make decisions based on intellect, do they?
No.
They make decisions based upon an emotional feeling,
Right.
based upon what they believe that they will receive. They back it up with logic. You already all know this, right?
Yes.
So when you are speaking, you have to start with the end in mind. I didn't make any of this stuff up. I'm just sharing with you information that I've learned from other people, right? Start with the end in mind. Where do you want to take your audience? And how many people make up an audience? One person. Everybody last night had an audience. I've seen everybody on stage last night, right? And just like when you are talking with somebody one-on-one, you want to relate to them on their own level, right? So read your audience. If your audience is not engaged with you, you have to do some techniques. And some people feel like, well, I don't want to be manipulative, or I don't want to control the audience. But if what you have to share is powerful, positive, impactful, effective, then it is your responsibility to share that to your audience. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Who are you? Who are you?
I'm a speaker.
Who are you?
I'm a speaker.
What makes you so special? All right, my mama told me. What makes you so special? We've all been told this when we were young, right? But we were told that in different tones. Who are you? What makes you so special? I'm like you, Kimberly. I always got in trouble. I was told 2 words ever since I was young. You have a big mouth. You have a big mouth. You have a big mouth. Guess what? That was a criticism. That was a put down. That was something I got punished for. That was something that I was supposed to change. But now, I have a big mouth. Raise your hand if you have a big mouth. Some of you do. Others of you do not, and that's fine too. I have a speaker coaching program called Engage the Stage, and last week, 2 people in our group who did not know each other, who are like 20 years apart, 1 woman and 1 gentleman, had the exact same experience. The gentleman shared his experience, and the woman, Kara, so Craig shared his experience. I'm going to tell you in a moment what it is. And Kara watched the replay because she wasn't able to be on the session during that time. And she told me she had the exact same experience when she was in school. Here's the experience. In early, 3rd, 4th grade something, Craig was asked to stand up and recite a poem, I think by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. And there is a phrase on there about resting on the woman's bosom. Now, how many people here in the last, year, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, ever in your life has used the word bosom? Is that your normal talk? It's a poem. And he said, bosom. And that's what happened. The students, his classmates laughed. The teacher laughed. And he was ridiculed for the rest of the school year. Kara watched him because we were talking about fear in our session. And he was talking about why he has had a block for public speaking. And it's traced back to that grade school experience. Kara watched our replay and she said, oh my God, I had the exact same experience. I don't know what grade or whatever. I don't know, is this a common thing that you have to read that poem? I don't know. But she was required to read the exact same poem in front of the class, and she said bosom. And they laughed again. And because of that, it created a block and an anchor in her that prevented her from pursuing this dream, this passion. Repeat after me. I am an amazing, engaging speaker.
I am an amazing, engaging speaker.
I have a voice and a message to share to the world.
I have a voice and a message to share to the world.
My knowledge.
My knowledge.
My expertise.
My expertise.
My story.
My story.
Is meant to empower and inspire others.
Is meant to empower and inspire others.
When I do coaching, I invite my mentees, coachees, whatever you call them, people that are on the journey with me, I invite them to do something, and I'm going to offer this to you. Not only when I'm on stage, but all throughout the time that we're together. I invite you to watch, listen, take notes, and observe in two different ways. Especially when the luminaries are up here, but when anybody's up here. Here's the two ways. Listen to the knowledge and the information that's being shared and take notes on that. When I said, it's all energy. We're all connected. It all comes back to you. That's the information. The second thing I would like to invite you to do is to observe. Take notes on what the speaker is doing, how they are expressing. A lot of speakers, and I was going to apologize for not holding the microphone, but a lot of speakers do this. They hold the microphone and they do this. They talk. You're not doing a voiceover. You're not doing a narration. You're not in a studio. You are on stage. Now, sometimes you have a big stage. Sometimes you have a stage that's 2 or 3 times this, or 4 or 5 times. Sometimes you have this much of a stage. Use the stage. Energy, it's all energy, right? You have to create the energy. And if it takes a moment to get going, that's fine. Now, a moment ago, I asked a question, and she said a nice comment in the back. And it got the audience to laugh. Right? You want to get the audience involved. It's not just speaking at them. Does this make sense? Raise your hand if that makes sense. Okay. You're always taking the audience on an emotional journey. This applies to customer service. This applies to everything, including speaking on stage. What we have to do is get an idea of where the audience is. So write this down. There's something called an emotional set point. An emotional set point. That is the starting place of what the audience or your prospect or your client, what they are feeling. And this applies in business. So I'll give you an example so you can understand even better. When a person goes to a dentist, what would be the normal emotional set point? Are they feeling joy? Are they feeling celebration? I'm going to the dentist today! Woo! Let me do a Facebook Live. Come on. Hey everybody, I'm here at Dr. Lewis's dental office, and I can't wait to get these extracted. No. What is the emotional set point when you go to the dentist? Normally. Fear, apprehension, anxiety, nervousness. It is the job of the dental team not just to do the work, but to take that person to a different level. Hopefully they're not leaving with fear, anxiety, nervousness, embarrassment. You know, some people are like, oh, I'm going to the dentist. Do I really have to show my mom? Like, I don't want to see this. Right? Same thing with an audience. There's always an emotional set point. The question is, where are they starting? Where do you want to take them to? Start with the end in mind. Tell them I'll be there in a minute. If you go, you understand about emotional set point. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Yes. So it's always, you want to set the tone. What do you want the audience to take away from? To take away, what do they want? And what happens when you stumble? What happens if you stumble while you're speaking on stage? Not physically, well, even that, physically, literally, but with your words. What do you do?
Continue on.
Keep going. Jeff.
You're the only one who knows.
You're the only one who knows. And sometimes, and I don't know if those of you who have been speaking for a long time, I've been speaking for a long time, I still get nervous. At 10:14, I got a tap on my shoulder this morning from Jenny. She said, okay, well, you're going to speak at 11. What? At 11? You mean tomorrow? No, in 45 minutes. So I said, well, can I leave the room? Even though I know my information, even though I've done this so many times, it's about the audience. And yes, I like to dress nice, and I want to look good on stage, and I like the video, but my heart and yours should be that you're serving the audience. That you are there to serve. And I'm going to go back to what I said a moment ago. Let me say it like this. And I often quote Les Brown. Many of you have been mentored by, been in the presence of, heard Les speak. I've heard him speak live maybe 5 times or so. Been in masterminds with him live. Every time he speaks, even if it's the same thing I heard before, I have tears. I always have tears. I like to quote him, and he says this: I don't know you, but I know something about you. I know that you have gifts and talents and abilities that only you are meant to bring to the world. You have, and if you know it, he says what? You have,
Talent.
there's a word that he says.
I don't know, I don't follow it.
You have greatness within you. You have greatness within you. Do you believe that?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask you again. Do you believe that?
Yes.
I want you to find a partner. Just turn to somebody beside you. And if there's not somebody beside you, look, I will be your partner. Find somebody right now. Just look at them.